In this video, we're going to be comparing the Galaxy A54 5G to the Galaxy A14 5G. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. We're going to be comparing the A54 to the A14. Obviously, both pretty new devices, and if you guys don't know already, the A54 is going to be a much more premium device than the A14. So for anybody in the comment section that's going to state that, we know this already. This is basically going to be more of like a spec comparison, you know, based on like what someone needs. They may not need the A54, or they may want it for its more premium feel and premium specs. This is all based around what you need. So if you feel like the A14 caters to you more, go with the A14. But if you want more of a premium phone, go with the A54. So we're going to talk about the specifications, you know, my experience with both these devices, and everything else in this comparison. So first and foremost, the Galaxy A54 on my left right here, the more premium of the bunch. This is going to have a 6.4-inch display. The display is going to have a resolution of 2400 by 1080p. Our ratio is going to be 20 by 9, and we are going to have a 411 ppi. Also, we're going to have a Super AMOLED display with 120 Hz refresh rate, so a pretty nice smooth screen right here. Our screen to body ratio is going to be 81.47%, and we are going to have HDR support, an ambient light sensor, and a proximity sensor in this. Going over to the Galaxy A14 5G, this is going to be a little bit bigger than the Galaxy A54. I feel both of these devices are actually kind of perfect in hand, to be quite honest. So very, very comfortable devices, not too big, not too small. But with the Galaxy A14 5G, this is going to be a 6.6-inch display, again 2400 by 1080p, a 20 by 9 aspect ratio, and a 399 ppi, so only 12 ppi less than the Galaxy A54, which is actually pretty impressive. This is not going to be Super AMOLED technology. This is just going to be regular IPS. The screen to body ratio is going to be a little bit smaller due to those thick bezels at the top and bottom. So our screen to body ratio is going to be about 80%, and we are going to be missing HDR support on things like YouTube and streaming applications. But we actually do have an ambient light sensor and a proximity sensor on this device. Now going down to the system chips inside these devices, the Galaxy A54 is obviously going to have the more premium chipset. We have an in-house Exynos 1380 chipset inside of here, and on the A14 we're going to have the MediaTek Dimensity 700. Obviously, as far as like the GPU, the graphics, which one runs smoother, that is of course going to be the Galaxy A54. I still feel like the Dimensity 700 is pretty good, but for anybody that wants to run Call of Duty on the highest settings and highest graphics, I would go with the A54. If you're more of a gamer, this is going to be a smoother experience for you. If you guys don't want those glitches and those little, you know, annoying twitches that you get on the A14 sometimes, it doesn't happen all the time, but there is still some times where it happens in applications where you may have got pushed to the home screen just randomly. I would go with the A54, just more powerful processor. But Genshin Impact, of course, on high settings is going to run much better. Same thing with PUBG, and just all around task and everyday stuff on the A54, it's going to run better on that device. So for our processors, these are going to be octa-core, both of them. Our GPU on the A54 is going to be more powerful. We have the Mali G68 compared to the Mali G57 on the A14. The A54 has 6 GB of RAM base, and the A14 has 4 GB of RAM base. Now getting into our internal storage, we have 128 gigabytes of internal storage on the A54, and we also have storage expansion on the A54 as well. So we can actually expand our storage up to about a terabyte or 1024 gigabytes via that micro SD card slot. Also, we start off with Android 13 on the A54 as well. Now going over to the Galaxy A14, we obviously have about half the storage, so 64 gigabytes of internal storage right out of the box. About 14 less, give or take. We also can expand our storage on here up to about a terabyte of storage via micro SD card, and we start on Android 13 on this device as well. So pretty decent software support on both these devices as well. We have about 5 security patches, or 5 years of security patches rather, on the Galaxy A54, and about 4 years of operating system updates. So we're going to go all the way up to Android 17 on the Galaxy A54, which is amazing, and it's going to be super future-proof. Going to the Galaxy A14, I believe we have 3 years of operating system updates and 4 years of security patches. I believe that is what we have on the money. If I'm wrong, again, leave it in the comment section down below, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that one. But that is the hardware and the software we have in both these devices. As far as the batteries on these devices, both these devices have pretty decent battery lives. A 5,000 milliamp battery in both these devices. The A54 is going to charge much faster, so we have a 25 watt charging rate on the Galaxy A54 compared to a 15 watt rate on the A14. So if you guys want a device that charges up much faster, definitely go with the A54. Now, getting into the camera section on both these devices, starting off with the Galaxy A54, we have a triple camera setup, as you guys can see right here. Our main camera is going to be a 50 megapixel camera with OIS and autofocus. Our secondary is going to be a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and our third is going to be a 5 megapixel macro. Going over to the Galaxy A14 right here, we're going to have a 50 megapixel main camera as well. This is going to be a PDAF camera. Our secondary is going to be 2 megapixel macro, and our third is going to be a 2 megapixel depth information camera. Now, the differences between these main cameras on the back of these devices is the Galaxy A14 is missing an ultra wide camera, and the video and the shots on the A14 are going to be much more washed out, much more shaky. Just the A54 is going to be much more optimized with how the camera goes. So if you guys want a better camera, go with the Galaxy A54. If you want something more along the lines of like a flagship device, the A54 is going to do you much better. Now, the biggest thing, and I think the biggest difference between both these devices, I think something that's more apparent to me, has to be the build quality. So the build quality on the Galaxy A54 is going to be much more premium. The sides are still going to be plastic, but the back of the Galaxy A54 is actually finally going to be glass. So this feels a lot more premium. Also, the haptic feedback, I believe, because of the build quality, is much better. So this is going to feel like a very premium vibration in your hand when you're either typing, your phone's ringing, or you receive a text. So very strong vibration in the A54. It feels extremely premium. Going over to the Galaxy A14, this is going to be a cheaper build. Obviously, this is going to be completely all plastic. I still love the design of this, but it just does not feel anything close to the A54. Going to haptic feedback and also build quality. So those are going to be the biggest differences, I feel like, is going to be the build quality. Now, something that the A14 has over the A54 is that we actually have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So we do not get one on the A54. So that is something that the A14 does better than the A54. But those are the specifications on both these devices. Honestly, I've had a really good time with the Galaxy A54. I've done some reviews and some different videos on it, and I believe there are better devices in the price range that do take better photos and better videos and stuff. But I still think the Galaxy A54, relative to the price tag, I believe it's still a decent phone, and I think the price tag is definitely fair for what you get. Also, the speaker on the A54 is going to be much better. We have stereo speakers on the A54. We do not have stereo speakers on the Galaxy A14. So all in all, the more premium phone obviously is the Galaxy A54. The difference is going to be pretty dramatic between both these devices. So the A14, you're going to kind of still feel that budget phone in there, but the A54, you're just going to the next level with this device. So if you guys need a cheaper device and you guys don't want to spend too much money and you guys think you can use the A14 for the next few years or whatever, I would go with the Galaxy A14. But just because the operating system updates are going to have the A54 covered, I still believe this is the better buy if you guys don't want to upgrade your device every year or 2 years. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. The A54 is obviously going to be the better buy in my opinion, but I believe the A14 is still a decent buy, especially if you get it 100% free at a prepaid carrier. But that was my comparison between the Galaxy A54 and the Galaxy A14 5G. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and if you guys have any questions, let me know as well. But hopefully you guys have a great day. This has been Safan from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.